It's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking college hoops headed to the SEC where Kentucky is taking on Alabama. Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger from Picks and Parlays. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell if you want notifications every time we post a new video. Red Hot Alabama is -8.5 in this one. The total is 147. Kentucky just 5-9 on the season, 6-8 against the number. Meanwhile, the Crimson Tide 13-3, 10-5-1 against the spread. We've got Nick from the Insider's Room to break this one all down for us. Nick, it's been a lot of fun watching Alabama play as of late. They bomb away from three. Oh man, and it's incredible some of these leads they've built up in the first half. But as we know, the pendulum can swing both ways, and this is a Kentucky team that seemed a little overvalued to start the season, to say the least. But gaining some steam as of late. So what's your take on this one?
Just as you pointed out, I really am respecting and loving the way that Alabama's been playing so far this year. They're playing great. But I think this one sets up great situationally for Kentucky here. It's out for some revenge after an 85-65 loss just 2 weeks ago. The Wildcats were 3-point favorites in that one. Kentucky then went on the road and it lost 2 straight to Auburn and Georgia. But then, it finally bounced back. As you mentioned, it did look a lot better in that last game, 82-69 over LSU. Brandon Boston Jr., he was big in that one. He had 18 points. Keon Brooks Jr., he added 15. And so that helped break the 3-game slide. Alabama, I think it's probably done a lot better than most people would have predicted this season. It averages 81.8 points per game. It had a 9-game against the spread win streak going, but that did come to an end in its last game there against Mississippi State. It did win straight up, but it was unable to cover the 9.5-point spread. And so now it faces a revenge-minded Kentucky team that, as you mentioned, it's clearly been underperforming all season. But it does come off that decent win and performance there. It now has confidence. Alabama's going to have to keep its focus here and not get caught looking ahead to a more high-profile game in Oklahoma in just a couple of nights. The Tide's current 9-game win streak, it's a school record, but I think John Petty Jr. and the home side, they're going to have their hands full here, Chelsa. And so, you know what? I'm not going to call for a straight-up outright upset, but in the end, what I will suggest is that you grab as many points as you can.
Yeah, at least Kentucky has looked a lot better offensively. 82 points scored in their last game was the most they had scored, at least in their last 10 games. And that's been the issue for Kentucky. They've been all right defensively, but they have not been able to keep up offensively. And you're going to need to have to do that when you're playing against Alabama. But we're talking about an 8.5-point spread here, which is pretty large for a college game. And then let's look at the total. It's 147, which is a little bit on the high side. But as I mentioned, Alabama's a team that scores in bunches, averaging 81 points per game. What do you expect when it comes to a total?
If I was going to lean to the total, I would lean to the over. As you said, the Wildcats, they sure looked a lot better on the offensive end in their most recent win. When these teams met 2 weeks ago, the total went over the posted number as well. And so I think that this is going to be a lot more competitive, but I do sort of predict another high-scoring game here. I do think that, I look for Kentucky to build off its latest performance, and so definitely leaning to the over as far as the total is concerned.
Right. If Alabama can stay hot from 3, it definitely looks like an over to me. That's going to do it for our SEC basketball talk here on Picks and Parlays. Great stuff from Nick from the Insider's Room. As always, Nick, thanks for joining us.